Hi, welcome to today's quick craft. We're going to be making a nightmare in a bell jar. You can find all the instructions on the VG&M website, and if you want to have a little look at our Nightmares in a Bell Jar exhibition, we've got an app that you can download. You can have a look at the creatures that are in the Tate Hall. You can get a little bit of inspiration from them. Or if you want to create your own creature, something that you're afraid of, or something completely made up like a monster, whatever you want to do. The materials I've got here today are just for inspiration. We've got some modelling clay. I've also got some oven baked clay, pipe cleaners, a tool for sculpting, and a little bit of tissue paper. And the main thing is, I've got a nice clean empty jar, and this is going to be our bell jar. We're going to take the lid off, pop the creature on the lid, and then it's sealed, ready for its own exhibition. So the creature I'm going to be making today is a snake. I've taken a bit of the clay. I've got nice clean warm hands, and I'm going to roll it into a ball. Don't forget to have a protective surface down while you're doing your modelling and sculpting. It can get a little bit messy. So for my snake, I'm just going to roll this ball of clay very gently. I'm going to leave it a little bit fatter at the top and keep working the ends. This part is going to be the head and this part is going to be the tail. Now that I've got it to the length that I want, I'm going to start making him into a coil by taking the tail first. Popping it on the top of his body, like so, and then just in a spiral motion, slowly start building the rest of the dough so that it goes into a coil. When I'm getting near to the end, I want him to be sitting upright. So I'm going to keep his body there and mould it so that he's looking upright, like that. As you can see, I've just shaped his face into a slight point, and I'm going to take my sculpting tool and I'm going to pop a little hole just in the end where his mouth would be so that I can pop in a little tongue. I've got my red clay, and this is going to be for the tongue. I've rolled it into a ball, just like I did earlier. Nice, clean, warm hands. And I'm just going to roll this out nice and thin to make a little tongue. I've made a little forked tongue for the end. So I'm just going to pop that onto there. And there we have a little forked tongue. I'm not going to need the entire length of this, so I'm just going to cut it down to size. And then in that little opening that we made earlier, I'm going to pop his little tongue in. Close the mouth. And there we have our little tongue. Now it's time to make his little eyes. I've got some white clay and I've got some black clay. You'll only need a tiny amount of each. So I've rolled the white into a ball and the black into a ball. I'm going to separate the white clay into two. Only need a little amount for his eyeballs. just flatten it between your fingers. I've got this tool, going to pick it up with one side, make a little indentation in the centre, pop it onto the side of his head and press in gently but firmly. There's one eye, and then I'm going to do the same with the other side. So roll it into a little ball, flatten it, press it between your fingers, make a little indentation, pop it onto your snake's head, press gently and firmly, and then we get a tiny weeny bit of the black clay. You only need a very small amount of this. Same principle, roll it up into a little ball, get it onto the end of your shaping tool and pop into the centre of the eye where you made your little indentation. And there we have it, our snake now has a little face. For this next stage you've got two options. I've popped my creature, my little snake, in the jar, and I've given it a little bit of a background by cutting up some green tissue paper, because snakes are very good with camouflage, so I've chosen a very similar type of green tissue paper for him to hide. You can either make a background, some scenery in there for him, or instead of putting tissue paper in there, you could also fill the jar with water, so it looks very similar to our Nightmares in a Bell Jar exhibition. It's completely up to you. So there's your second option. You can pop your snake into some water, and then you'll just have to tip it upside down to get it into the right position. And then there you have it, you've got your very own Nightmare in a Bottle.